Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Ethan, and in this video I'm going to be showing you my art from 9th grade. Before we get started, I'd like to point out that the camera quality right now is not good. The reason why is because I'm filming this on my laptop. On my DSLR camera, I can't monitor what I'm filming while I'm filming it, so I can't film myself and know what it looks like. I hope that makes sense. So I'm filming it on my laptop because I can see my face. It's kind of vain, but I need to make sure that what I'm filming looks the way I want it to. So I will be showing you guys the art that I'm showing you now with my DSLR camera, so it will look better. I'll do close-up shots so you can see that later. But right now, for the commentary portion, you're going to be seeing this grainy image before you. So sorry about that, but let's just jump into it, I guess. So my 9th grade art class is an elective. Everyone in my high school had to take a certain amount of art credits. I don't know how many that was. I definitely surpassed it because I was in art and I was in theater. But for 9th grade, it's called 9AE because it's art elective. And the first assignment is to make a cover for the folder that all of your art's going to be stored in for the rest of the year. So, this is the cover I did. I'm going to be doing close-up shots like I said before, so. Essentially, this cover was just meant to be, or in my mind, I just made it graphic with lots of spirals. That's supposed to be gold metallic, but it's not really metallic anymore, it's kind of faded. I don't know, it's a cool design. My folders get better, well, all my art gets better as I progress through the years. So, one of the first assignments our art teacher gave us was to draw hands. So this is my drawing of a hand. Oh, you're not. I'll show you in the zoomed in portion. But essentially, the idea that with the hand drawings is to get an idea of form and shading. And if you can master a hand, you can pretty much draw anything because they're a very complex organic structure. And hands bring a lot of the elements of art together. Hands are expressive, they are organic because they're human, they're an animal, they're a human form. So they're organic, they can pose, so they can be very emotional, but they're not rigid, but they have structure. It's kind of like the convergence of a lot of different aspects of art. So if you can master a hand, you can pretty much draw anything. So after doing the initial sketch, she blew it up my art teacher blew it up on the Xerox machine, and I traced it onto a scratch board, and then I scratched it out. So this is that. Here's another piece. I think this assignment was just to do a composition with abstract shapes. Essentially what this is, well, my high school art teacher liked to simplify the idea of composition to a triangle. If you can build a compelling composition with 3 objects or with a scene that creates a triangle, it's a good composition because it keeps your eye within the piece if there's 3 main focuses, or if there's a triangular path that your eye follows. So a very basic understanding of composition is a triangular form. So after doing that drawing, I made this painting. In 9th grade, our art teacher had us do a lot of roller painting, so we took brayers, like in printmaking, and we rolled it with tempera paint, and we made a bunch of those for backgrounds, and then we did different assignments on those backgrounds. It essentially just gave us a better ground to work on instead of working on white for everything, because that's kind of a boring background, and students have a tendency to only focus on the subject and forget about the background. So if you do the background in advance, you're kind of set up for success. I remember my art teacher said that she liked this one and thought that I think I wanted it to hang this way, but she said that it actually kind of looked like a really abstract idea of people sitting at pianos. I kind of see it, especially this one. It kind of looks like 2 people sitting on a bench at a piano. Pretty cool. So, in 9th grade, there was another assignment we had to do. It was to make an animal in 3D. and our teacher supplied us with a bunch of like paper towel rolls and different cardboard things, and then obviously like masking tape and stuff to tape it together. And then after that, we would paper mache over the top with newspaper and then a layer of paper towels, because paper towels are smoother than newspaper most times. And then obviously we paint on top of that. So first we had to draw a front view and a side view of the animal we were going to do. So I picked a bear because I thought it would be kind of simple. The drawing does not look very good. I don't know what I was thinking, but this is the bear here. This is the final product. This is the final product, the bear. So, yeah, my 3D art skills improve very much from like going forward from here. So just think, this is pretty basic. I was just kind of getting a feel for how to make 3D art, but I think it turned out pretty good. My mom has this set up in the living room. I guess she likes it. So, well, she has a lot of my art hanging around the house, and it's kind of partially honoring. So I'm like, oh, you like my art, but it's also kind of like embarrassing at the same time, because sometimes she'll tell people when they come over, and there's just a lot of it hanging up. Like, it would be different if she just had a few things, but she has like so much of my art around the house, so I don't know. Oh, and I guess I ended up stealing some of the materials from the art room, because we would take from National Geographic pages and stuff, or images online, we'd take our reference, and we were supposed to put them back after using them, but I guess I left some of them in my folder, so I still have the picture of the bear that I used. Okay. This next assignment she called spiral art. I'm not quite sure why. It's kind of, I think this is fairly popular. I think sometimes math teachers will do demonstration with this, sometimes art teachers, I don't know. But it's the idea that like, if you use a bunch of straight lines and you change the angle, you can make it look like a curve, because all the lines together kind of make a curve. So that's kind of what spiral art is, or at least that's what you'd call it. So I'll show some of the images of the sketches I did here. Here's like the typical line art thing, and then you can make different shapes with it, like diamonds or TIE fighters from Star Wars, or circles. This is the final art piece. So I did it on a black background with colored pencil, so it kind of pops, I guess. And keep in mind, all of this is from 9th grade, so I was still getting a grip on like the basics of art. I think I did the blue and orange. I was pretty pleased with myself because I learned about complementary colors. So this is young Ethan figuring out what art is. So this is a whole stack of ink paintings on printer paper. Our art teacher was teaching us how to, this is so redundant, our art teacher was teaching us. She was showing us how to use the different brushes with ink or watercolor or whatever. So you could pick, I think, but essentially like we'd use the fan brush to do pine trees like Bob Ross. We'd use like, I think the rigger brush to do the mountains. Fan brush to do grass, stuff like that. Fan brush you could use it to do waterfalls. That's not a very good one. But I have a whole stack in here just practicing over and over again. Essentially practicing until you felt comfortable. She would have us practice on printer paper until we felt comfortable enough to use one of our roller painting backgrounds to do one on. So I have a whole bunch of practice that I did. And most people in the class did a whole lot too, so it's kind of typical. But after doing all that, I made this. And again, I'll probably show you in the close-ups. But I think this turned out pretty well. I think I like the background almost more than the actual subject, the mountain and the trees. But yeah, that's pretty nice. I like that one. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, this next one is a leaf project. So again, we use the roller painting like I mentioned before, the tempera paint rolled on with sprayers, rolled on the paper. And then, so with this assignment, we were to get leaves and press them on the paper. And I actually kind of messed up. You're only supposed to really use one color and do one press, but I did a pretty dark color, and I think some of them overlapped. Basically, I did something wrong, so I ended up doing a double print, so I tried to find the same leaf and put it over top with a different color. So I think mine ended up actually looking pretty cool. I think my art teacher ended up liking it too, but I technically didn't do the assignment correctly. And then, yeah, it's supposed to hang with the leaves facing down, but I think this got put up in the art show upside down. But I like this one. I think it looks pretty cool. I like it's like a lot of cool colors with the blue, the green, and the purple. But then the yellow-green here kind of like jumps out. It's nice. I like it. So this next assignment was, I think it's called like the garbage collage or something. We took a foam board and then we glued a bunch of garbage to it, like bottle caps and just a lot of lids to things. And then we crinkled up a bunch of tinfoil and then flattened it out and then put it over top of the thing. So it had a lot more texture after you crinkled it. So we put it over top of the garbage after gluing it all down. And then we painted it black. And then over the black, we dry brushed metallic paint. So it ended up with this cool finish where all the high points are like metallic and shiny. Oh, it's actually kind of damaged. That's sad. I don't know how that happened. But anyway, what I find cool about this one that I'd like to mention is the lattice pattern, the grid pattern, is from the underside of like an old carpet. So it's the mesh that the fibers are hooked onto. So that's pretty cool. She called all the animal assignments critters. So here's my critter. Again, I stole the page from the National Geographic and never put it back. Sorry. But here it is. I think this is the original sketch. And then she blew it up, again on the Xerox. And I transferred it onto a roller painting and painted possum. Or, I don't know, I think I forget what it's called. It's a pint-sized possum. Interesting. This assignment was meant to be like color continuity, so the idea was to paint this on lightly or to only have opacity in certain areas so that the base color could shine through, so there would be some sort of color continuity. That's basically what she was trying to teach us. I don't think I did the best job because it kind of just looks faint everywhere, but at the same time opaque in the wrong places. It just looks patchy. But that's okay because, you know, you live and you learn. And I definitely learned. And then I did a wood burning of it. So here's the wood burning. So that's it for 9th grade. I'm sure as you noticed, a lot of what I did was different media. I was trying different things out and kind of learning the basics. Basically every assignment was either trying to teach me something about how to use a media or really basic concepts in art like color and form and composition. So that's basically what 9th grade is for art class. You kind of have to build the basics and then you can move forward from there. I know a lot of people settle into one media after a while, but I really, for the rest of my high school career, continued experimenting and trying and going back and forth and trying out as many media as possible. And I really enjoyed it, so I hope you're excited for the next video. In the next one, I'll be showing you my 10th grade art. So I definitely did improve in 10th grade. I'll kind of lay it out for you here. So 9th grade was like really basic. I didn't do that much art. Like this is the least amount of art I did. 10th grade I did a little more. 11th grade I did so much because I had so much art time. Basically if I had a study hall, I'd go to art class. During art class I'd obviously do art, and I'd even do art during certain like special periods. So I had a ton of time in the art room in 11th grade, so I made a ton of art then. And then senior year I made a little less than 11th grade, but I still made a lot. And I think the moral of the story here, especially by the time I finish this series, is going to be the progression. You know, if you're a young artist out there who's just getting interested and just trying things out, don't get demotivated, or like don't get disappointed with where you're at now, and don't look at other artists and be like jealous or be like, I can never do that, because the reality is if you keep working at it, you can get better, and you're constantly on the path doing better and better. You have to look back on the work you've already made and see improvement. You can't compare yourself to other artists because they've already been on a journey. They're just ahead of you. We're all improving and getting better as long as you're keeping up with it. If you quit, you can't get better. That's the reality. So you just have to keep at it and you'll keep getting better. So I guess that's my little moral of the story there. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, please remember to like and subscribe. Be sure to comment any other video ideas you have. Comment which piece you liked the most. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.